Do you think AI will replace HRs?
I don't think so. Looks pretty scary.
The unemployment rate is below 2%. It seems stable. There are more job vacancies than the number of unemployed people in Singapore. But at the same time, when we speak to people on the ground, they seem to be less optimistic. What's going on?
Certain programs out there that helps people automatically apply for jobs or submit applications based on keywords. Again, this system automatically detects a job that is very relevant to your experience and it submits an application for you without you having to lift a finger.
Welcome to HR&beyond, the podcast where we go deeper into the trends and challenges at the workplace. In today's episode, The Talent Game, we are joined by Kelvin Ong, a strategic HR leader with extensive experience in the region. Kelvin has over 10 years of experience in leadership and human resources. He is known for building strong and flexible teams in fast-growing organizations. Kelvin, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
Thanks for joining.
My pleasure.
When we met for the first time, I would never believe that we will be here.
Yeah, it must have been, 3.5 years ago at least.
Yeah.
When we first
true.
met at social dancing and then we subsequently connected professionally and here we are today.
Yeah, thank you so much for reaching out 2 years ago as well. And I was happy to
Thank you.
assist with your benefits programs. Well, today's topic is the talent game. And I would love to discuss this topic with you because I know that you have an extensive experience in this field. And I wanted to start, with some statistics. So I was looking the other day into MOM website and basically what they did is they launched their data for 2024 and it seems very optimistic. The unemployment rate is below 2%. It seems stable. There are more job vacancies than the number of unemployed people in Singapore. But at the same time, when we speak to people on the ground, they seem to be less optimistic. What's going on?
I think there's a few things when we look into data like this, right? So first of all, MOM adopts an approach where they define unemployed people as people who are currently jobless and are ready to enter the job market immediately, right? So with the growth of the gig economy over the last, 5-10 years maybe.
Yeah.
Chances are many people who have lost their jobs doing some form of part-time job, like whether they're driving a Grab or Uber or they're delivering food, I don't know. But then again, these people will not be considered as unemployed, even though they are trying to look for a new job while trying to get some income. So we have to be very careful how we look at and interpret this data. Second thing is also we have to compare these data points to outside to external sources as well. So for example, Singapore, how does 1.9% look compared to the rest of Southeast Asia or APEC? And that gives us a better idea of whether 1.9% is very good or is very bad. Because if your unemployment rate is at 1.9% and everyone else is at 0%, then I would say you're having some problems, right? But if everyone else is at 10%, then I would say we're doing pretty well.
Would you agree it's a tight labor market right now?
In Singapore, it's always a tight labor market. It's been like that for, I think, the better part of the last 10 over years. There's a lot of demand for high value skills or what people like to call complex jobs, right? And then because Singapore the population is generally higher educated and they're able to provide this kind of skill sets that is not easily available in other countries. But obviously, many countries, depending on what sector, are catching up really quickly. Like today, if I go to India to look for a tech expert, it's going to be much easier to find one there than one in Singapore, for example. And China has all sorts of various specializations and skill sets. Obviously, language might be a problem for some, but many of them are internationally educated now.
Yeah. And then going back, I guess, to different markets, I'm curious, are there any winners or losers within certain industries or even perhaps demographics?
It's hard to say, right? I think since the start of 2025, if you look at the tracker available just for the tech industry for layoffs, it's amazingly long list, and the numbers that is being laid off is looks pretty scary. But at the same time, there are many companies boasting their expansion plans, their growth plans. Government is hiring aggressively, telling us that they are actually opening X number of tech-related jobs, right? And you can see government advertisements and stuff like that going on. So without, I don't have enough data to give you an actual answer, but I think, yeah, surely there's always some winners and losers. Yeah.
One of my observations recently, so I do sometimes check on linking the job vacancies in the roles that interesting to me. It seems like there's so many applicants being like applied for the role, and it's crazy. Like, does it mean that there's a high competition right now?
I don't think that is necessarily the case. So today, many people like to say they use AI, right? So these things are already available. I've been there in the market for a long time, right? Obviously, today when people talk about AI, it's a lot on generative AI. But in my understanding, there are a few things that's happening in the hiring market for talent acquisition. They are using more automated systems, they call AI systems, to help vet through CVs based on keywords. Then candidates use generative AI to help them draft their CVs based on these keywords. So it kind of is like every CV looks very similar for a job. Now, more importantly, why you get many applicants? Personally, I think it has to do with a certain program or certain programs out there that helps people automatically apply for jobs or submit applications based on keywords. Again, this system automatically detects a job that is very relevant to your experience and it submits an application for you without you having to lift a finger. So that could explain. Secondly, I also mentioned about the massive layoffs. So it depends on the industry and the role. It could be that there are a lot of talents in the market for certain roles, but I think that's hardly the case in Singapore usually. Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking the other day with one recruitment company that apparently is very successful, and when he was explaining me how the system works is that they generate all these algorithms, and ultimately they're not doing anything. The moment the job is available on LinkedIn or on website, they automatically send a CV.
So a couple of things to be very careful about, and these are my views, and I have a very limited understanding on this, right? AI doesn't understand meaning. It interprets patterns in the data set and it generates a best guess response, right? So it's, in a nutshell, a glorified best guess system for you, right? So you need to always double check and verify whether the AI is doing the correct thing. Now, having that system is great. Then again, recruiters are using systems to vet your CVs, and many times your CV do not even reach them. Now, what's interesting is actually yesterday I saw a news on Workday. In the America, a group of people are suing Workday. Why? Because their AI applicant tracking system is so-called discriminatory against age, people over 40.
Really?
Gender and race, I think, and something else. But anyway, AI, there's always a precaution or a caveat when you use AI. They tell you that there's always going to be bias, hallucination, and all these things, and always ask you to double check. So I think, once again, it's I don't know what I don't know kind of situation, right? So it's a very interesting time in the job market today with the advancement of technology and introduction of AI. But at the same time, we should be very careful when and how we adopt these systems to help us achieve our goals.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. We definitely see a lot of benefits. I'm a huge user of ChatGPT. I will not deny that.
Same here.
but as I guess Workday case shows that it can actually hurt as well, processes, and you need to be careful, as what you said.
It does actually. Share with you an interesting story. I like to use different Gen AI platforms just to test the response. And I noticed that certain platforms have more tendency to inflate things, inflate numbers, and give you answers they think you want to hear. And then when I challenge the system and say, I don't see this report anywhere. Can you send me the link? They will actually tell you that, I'm sorry, I said this because I thought you wanted to hear this, but this is not true. Or I inflated the numbers by 15% to make it sound more impressive.
Oh my God.
And then there are systems that are very conservative and tell you these are the reported numbers, but conservatively it should be less because of various reasons. So it's actually quite interesting. But again, Gen AI at the basis of it is really data, right? So and data is rubbish in, rubbish out. So you only get good responses with good data, and you only can get good responses if you know how to prompt the system well.
I'll tell you another funny story. Please don't judge me. So, of course, to prepare for this meeting, I was like, okay, I need to write a short description about Kelvin Ong. Can you give me a few sentences? So I was like, okay, the ChatGPT gave me some answers, and I'm like, okay, luckily I went through your CV and the page, right? I was like, I don't remember this company being in your list. I was like, and I was like, where this is coming from? I was like, oh, sorry, yeah, you're right, it's not there. I was like, what?
Yeah. I think what's happening is that as the AI starts to so-called learn about our preferences and our needs, it has a tendency to try to skew towards telling you what you want to hear.
Yeah, totally. Have you seen I guess where AI have helped you in your HR role, where I guess it's definitely helping, I guess, reduce certain administrative tasks, where you would say, okay, we totally need to use it for these reasons?
I think in HR, personally, I see very much impact in one area of policies and processes.
Yeah.
I can't use Gen AI, for example, to write my HR policy for me, but Gen AI can help me come out with a very structured outline, right? And then I can take it and contextualize it to the needs of my company. I can do my research and collect my thoughts and help structure my thought process on this whole thing much quicker than before. And that has helped me become much more efficient, to be honest. Outside of this, I would say more administrative portion, I find it hard to incorporate a lot of AI-related technology into HR work. I shared a little bit about the hiring portion, right?
Yeah.
I personally believe we still need really skilled TAs to be able to identify between the good and the great candidates, to be able to identify whether somebody is fluffing on their CV or is they really skilled as what they say, or is it just what Gen AI helped them say. You still need a very a skilled person there in functions like comp and band. Like these data are not readily available. You quite literally have to buy them, right? The only open source I know, or a couple, I think Glassdoor has some, Indeed has some, but they are rarely very accurate, to be honest. So comp and band, you can't really use AI to help you, right? You can get suggestions, do some research. That's super helpful. But doing your job, I think it's going to be tough. Other functions, I mean, do you need to use AI to help you organize a DEI initiative or a well-being event? I don't know. I don't think so, right? You can, but obviously, I think the impact is a lot lower. So in general, I think I really see one main function there that is really helpful. Otherwise, it's a good tool for me to help structure my thoughts and create a nice storytelling flow and stuff like that.
Do you think AI will replace HRs?
Nah, I don't think so. Honestly, no. Like, can AI help you, I don't know, manage a disciplinary case where human emotions are involved? Like, unless the AI can interpret human emotions, I think it's still going to be quite far-fetched. Can it help you with training technical skills like I don't know, have a VR system to train pilots how to fly a certain model of a plane, coding tests and stuff? Sure. Then again, is it going to be helpful? I mean, you really need to assess all these things. But I believe that the human touch in many of these is still going to be critical for the function.
Thank you. you know, one thing that I always also think about is that we are so blessed that we live in Singapore, which is a government and country that takes care of their people. And I know they have a lot of initiatives, even to help people, I guess, to embrace what's coming and perhaps reskill them so that they are fit and ready for the future. Have you seen any of the, I guess, or use any of the initiatives that government launched? And perhaps there are some success stories that you can share as well.
Actually, very interesting. I have not used any of the initiatives, but I'm quite acutely aware because of the nature of my job. I think Singapore government is generally quite forward-looking, right? If you think about it, Skills Future started quite a number of years ago. The government has been talking about reskilling yourself,
Yeah.
career change, and stuff like that. Now, the intention is great. The foresight is awesome, but the implementation is something that I think could improve, right? Could do better. Why? Because we need to, it's not so easy to say, just learn a new skill and do something else if you don't have a job now. Sometimes, I mean, are companies going to pay me the kind of salary I have now if I suddenly become, learn a new skill and become like a junior employee? Chances are it's not, right? Then there's going to be a financial impact and all these things. So there's a lot more to just picking up new skills and transitioning your career. Secondly, it's also the quality of the courses, how relevant these are. Some, like, there's obviously certain criteria to get approval for companies to accept Skills Future credits, but maybe it will be helpful to classify a certain set of some of these skills, because as I did I did look at it like briefly, but I think some of them I would consider as hobbies, right? Some of them I will consider as good to have, and then what are the skills that I will need to have that can help me to get my next job. I think this kind of information will be super helpful for job seekers if it's not already there. Other things like WSG, they are there to always help, and there's always, like, I think recently I've seen a lot of road shows, given the amount of layoffs this year, that they're out there trying to tell people there's a lot of job openings in Singapore. But again, I'll also give a very frank response. I did go to some of these road shows and take a look, and I realized that many of the companies offering roles, yes, it's not really about industry. I know, yes, a lot of service roles, right? Like service related roles that Singaporeans are notoriously known not to want to do. But some of these roles are, in my view, quite lowly paid for what they're asking for. So are these really helpful for people who have been laid off and looking for a job? Or what's the impact? I think it would be great if we could have some data to tell us.
You've clearly, I mean, interviewed, I think, hundreds of people, right? And recruited not just in Singapore, but across the region. I'm curious, like even within different demographics groups, Gen Z, millennials, and you also have Gen X. Do you see that the values have like shifted recently in terms of what people are looking for the job? You mentioned about money, but it seems like for younger people right now, it's not the priority, or like job security. Just curious to hear from you that.
I think just because we are Asians and we are in Asia, people are not many people are very open with what they are really thinking. So there are many studies that shows that the Gen Zs, even the younger millennials, are looking for more of purpose, right? More flexibility, ability to work while enjoying life, not so much pursuing a career like the older millennials or the older generation. Now, in an interview, you almost, when you ask a question about what you're looking for and stuff like that, it's almost always a standard answer that you want to hear. And but when,
what is it?
Like, oh, I'm looking for the next step of my career to progress and so on. Oh, this is an amazing company to join. You have really good reputation and stuff like that, right? But when they join, after they join, and as time goes, you can start to see all these facets coming out. The younger generation really are more purpose-driven. what is my role, how I contribute to the company, and what is the company trying to achieve, rather than, okay, this is my task, I'm just going to do it and submit my work. They question more. More of them are willing to say, I want to take unpaid leave. Why? Because I want to enjoy my life for a month. I have enough savings to not work for a month to go somewhere traveling. So I think for employers, they need to be ready to manage this. They need to, I would argue, to change the way they look at work. Performance has to be looked upon as deliverables and outcomes, not so much face time. That will really help you to manage a younger generation of employees who is less concerned about face time and really want that flexibility and that work-life harmony.
Well, Calvin, thank you so much. This has been very insightful.
Thank you.
Just to end this episode, I have, I guess, last question to you.
Sure.
Can you please give one advice to job seekers as well as recruiters on the market job landscape?
I think, first of all, for job seekers, and I'm one myself right now, I think don't lose motivation. Market is really challenging right now. We all know that. And many people are having a very hard time looking for a new opportunity. There are a lot of posts, stories, and sharing about how after hundreds of applications, they have been ghosted, they have not heard back and anything like that. I think it's just the nature of the market right now. It's tough, but if you give up, then you're just not going to get anywhere, right? There's no harm in trying. Always try and keep trying. And if you get something, great. If it's not, actually nothing has changed for you. So don't feel discouraged or anything like that. For recruiters, my advice again, and I think it's going to be an interesting one. The truth is, if I don't use AI to help vet CVs, I'm kind of going to be falling behind my peers. But equally, if I use it, I'm just going to get all the same similar CVs, right? So I think you need to hone your skills to be able to tell between the good and the great candidates or talents in the market. You need to hone your skills to be able to kind of help you pick that up in your initial conversation, because then you will prove to be a very valuable partner to your business, right? And lastly, for the recruiting firms, I think it's been really quiet. I've spoken to a lot of my friends in the industry. Again, don't be discouraged. It's just how the market is right now. Things will pick up again once maybe there's more clarity about what's going to happen and how companies are planning to grow. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Calvin.
Thank you for your
This
time.
was very insightful.
Thank you. My pleasure.
That's all for today's episode of HR and Beyond.
Please subscribe, follow, and recommend us to your friends and colleagues.
We would love to hear your thoughts or questions. Connect with us on LinkedIn or send us a message.
As we say in Kazakhstan,
Alga, which means onward. Take care and until next time.